up and, you know, the images they had in church
was this white dude right here.
You know, me, like, you know, talking to people, like, how y'all doing?
That's why you'll begin to start looking like what they put on TV is what's cool. That's why drug dealing is cool. It was on TV. That's why smoking weed is cool. It's all over TV. That's why dumb rap music is cool. It's all over TV. Matter of fact, I got another one for you. That is why you perm and straighten your hair. You would never put that on if you were taught that as a child. But you were never taught that as a child, that when you do that, God says you're in sin to him. Ashley, what's your name? Natasha and Ashley. Because we got a lot of kids, and you had mentioned that nobody had ever seen Christ, but now you know he look like you now, right? Right? You go to church.
Sometimes.
You do too, right? You said you came up in church, though, right?
I haven't been to church.
You ain't been in a minute.
Yeah, I told you I was going when I was younger, but as I got older, I just, you know, branched away.
You just tried, you kind of like, I ain't dealing with that. Why? Why did you stop going?
You said why?
Yeah.
Maybe because I actually, okay, so my mom is Christian, my dad is a Muslim.
Okay.
So it was just like, you know, after just, I don't know, to be honest. I went and did my own, you know, I was doing my own research and things. And then it was just a lot going on in the church.
What did you find when you did your own research? What did you find? And I'm asking y'all these questions.
I mean, that's
for
what
a
I'm
reason.
saying, because that's what I said. Like, I grew up and, you know, the images they had in church
was this white dude right here.
You know, me, like, you know, talking to people, like, how y'all doing? You know, talking to people, you know, then I learned that, you know, he was, you know, hair wool, and I'm looking at myself like, okay, you know, it sounds right, you know.
Okay.
After you listen to things,
And
you know.
why did you grow up in the church as well? Why did you stop going?
I got grown. I was wrong with it.
No, and that's cool. I'm glad y'all stopped going, because that's all lies. As you can see, if they're not going to teach you what he looked like, you mean to tell me they're going to tell you what he really said?
Right.
You mean to tell me they're going to tell you what he really said after they already lied and said he white?
Right.
That's slave doctrine.
Teach y'all.
What they made all our people in the hood. I grew up in the hood.
That's right.
Look just like this. Matter of fact, slave doctrine.
Right.
We were good slaves. That's what they make us, and that's why he said that cycle keep continuing. And then y'all said y'all grown up though. But now what do you do? Because now that you're grown and you know something ain't right with that, then what's the answer that you give to your children at this point?
You know, I teach, like, I'm the type, I get what a lot of people be like, oh, don't be too honest with your children while they too young and all of that.
Why
like,
people say that?
I don't know.
That's
you
a
know,
lie.
It be brain, you know, people be brainwashed.
Brainwashed.
So they be thinking,
yes.
like, if I tell my kids, like, no, we not celebrating Christmas, we don't do that, I'm wrong. You feel me? Like, society just all messed up. So if I tell my children the truth, then people think I'm a bad parent because I'm telling them the truth. You get what I'm saying? Like the Tooth Fairy, Christmas, all that stuff. Like,
all that's false.
Like, you know, and then people look at me like I'm a bad mother.
Matthew 24.
They feel like I done crushed my kids' dreams because I told them this not real and we don't do this. And
now,
I'm a bad mother.
Now we're finna go through the Bible, because you've never been told that the Bible was just for you. You've never been told that either. Y'all think the Bible is for every race, don't you? That's what you grew up thinking, am I right? The Bible is only for our people. That's it.
Right.
Because why in the world would God come save the same people that did this right here to us?
That's right. Teach y'all.
What are he saving them for?
Bring it out.
They don't need to be saved. They rule the earth.
Out.
So what are they saved for?
That's right.
Instead, they give us drugs, they give us guns, because none of us control, no import, nothing.
Right.
Mind you, drugs is in our neighborhood, though.
Right.
So the very same white people that put us in slavery bring it in and then give it to us, and then we sell it to each other.
Right.
Guns. None of us own a gun-making factory.
Right.
You ain't even supposed to have guns in New York. But black people, for some reason in the hood, got guns in New York.
That's right.
Just like right here in South Carolina.
Right.
Guns all over the place, and we don't make none of them.
Right.
But then they'll say, no one's seen Christ. That is all to make you hate yourself. Therefore, you'll begin to make yourself look like what they tell you beauty is. You'll begin to start looking like what they put on TV is what's cool. That's why drug dealing is cool. It was on TV. That's why smoking weed is cool. It's all over TV. That's why dumb rap music is cool. It's all over TV. Matter of fact, I got another one for you. That is why you perm and straighten your hair.
Oh no, see, no, I'm natural under this now.
Listen,
I'm natural.
listen, watch this.
I'm natural.
Watch this, listen to me. Listen to what I did. Listen to what I said. But if you always knew that that was a play to God, you would never put that on if you were taught that as a child. But you were never taught that as a child, that when you do that, God says you're in sin to him.
That's right.
You're not living right by God at that point.
Read out.
Why don't they teach that? This is why. Read.
Matthew chapter 24 and verse 5.
This is why they never show you in Christian church what Christ looked like. Go ahead.
For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ.
What race of people said they get? What race of people painted themselves like Christ? What race? Because he's a black man. You ever see the Chinese looking Jesus?
Bring it out.
You ever see the Japanese looking Jesus? You ever seen the Arab looking Jesus? That's because the same people that put us in slavery did that.
That's right.
It said many shall come in my name saying they Christ. Now you got white people painting themselves as God and Christ and all the angels. All the angels black.
Right.
Christ is black. God is black.
That's right.
With woolly hair like us. But we'll get taught on TV that it's pretty to straighten our hair.
Right.
That is not pretty to God, because God said what's pretty is that I gave you the very hair that I have. Think about it. Does an afro fall or does it rise? Why you got dead hair in your head?
Come on.
See what I'm saying?
Bring it out.
That is dead. But what we have naturally, literally rise up like the trees that you see out here.
That's right.
Our hair is alive. Their hair is dead. That's why God says it's a plague.
Right.
We are the only alive people on the planet.
Right.
We're the realest people on the planet, but we hate being who God made us. And that's because you was taught this young like that. Read that again.
For many shall come in my name, saying I am Christ, and shall deceive many.
And that's exactly what happened. Many of our people have been deceived.
Right.
Every drug dealer on the planet is deceived.
Right.
Which ones you... Ain't nobody making millions no more doing that now.
Right.
Ain't nobody doing that no more. We go to prison and get stuck in there and die in there.
Right.
And if we come back out, we got a record and can't get a job, so we repeat it all over again.
That's right.
Or we'll have sisters. They'll have babies. And they cannot get married. Not cannot, but they are in a position where they did not get married, and now we're trying to reverse that cycle because men bring discipline.
Right.
Not women. Men bring discipline. Women bring that emotional side. That's why it's supposed to be both in the house. It's because the woman brings the emotional, the calm and nurturing side. The man brings the discipline and the rationality, where regardless of what you say, this is how it is.
That's right.
Women, like you said, people tell you don't be honest with your child at a young age. You don't never hear a man say that, do you?
Right.
You know why men don't say that? Because we'll tell our kids at a young age, as soon as they can understand, he's fake.
Right. That's right.
Santa is fake. We'll say that all day.
Right.
And a woman will be like, why are you telling them that? But the man will say, forget all that. We're going to tell the truth.
Right.
That is because men bring discipline and rationality.
Right.
Women bring nurturing.
Right.
It is for them to nurture. We done got on them hard. You know what I'm saying? She sit back and watch us get on the son or the daughter hard, and she chill, and then she come after we done dealt with them, and she say, hey, listen, your father's right.
Right.
You need to obey your father. Now they feel a little better because you done come been soft to them after we done been on them.
Right.
And that's how it's supposed to be. But a lot of times we don't get that. So then what happens is our men grow up to be emotional like their mothers.
You know?
You step on my Jordans, I'm going to shoot you.
Right.
That's a woman trait.
That's right.
Because women go off. Now women, something happen. Women get all in men's face. They like, no.
Right.
Now we got men doing that when men didn't do that. Men know there is a line that we don't cross with each other.
That's right.
Because we understand physically we could really kill each other.
Right.
We really can. Women ain't gonna do that. That's why women will go off, because they know everybody's gonna protect me. But men get that mentality and they grow up like that. And now they realize ain't nobody protecting me. I gotta pick up a gun now. Now I gotta do that. Is that the end of that verse?
Yes, sir.
Now, let's go to 1 Corinthians 15 and 4. Because she had mentioned that no one saw Jesus. That right there says somebody gonna come and lie to you, right? So first they're gonna give you a false image. Then they're going, because of that image, now you don't even know what your real beauty is. Because think about it. If God said you're so special that he gave you the same hair he got, ain't that important? Wouldn't you want to wear the hair he got? I think it is straight up beautiful for a woman to have her fro out.
Right.
That is absolutely beautiful. You don't even see that, but you used to see that back in the day though. Why don't our women do that now? Because what they did on TV and what our children been raised to think is beautiful is pushed every day on social media, TV, and now we believe it.
Come on.
And it is a lie. Read that.
First Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 4. And that he was buried, and that he rose again the third day.
So we read about Christ. He was killed, he was buried, and then he rose again the third day because she said no one saw him. Go ahead.
According to the scripture, and that he was seen of Cephas.
So then a man named Cephas, a prophet, saw Christ.
Right.
After he rose again. Go ahead.
Then of the 12.
Then the 12 disciples saw Christ. Go ahead.
After that, he was seen of above 500 brethren at once.
At once. So Christ was seen after he died. But they tell you no one saw him.
Right.
Mind you, the Bible itself, where they tell you no one saw him, said he saw him. That everybody saw him. Right. So why did they lie? It is to make you not really care about the Bible.
Right.
To where now when you hear the Bible, you don't even know who it's written to, nor who it's about. So therefore, what you'll do, you'll close the book, and it'll sit in the house, collect dust, and you just live your life, and you say, I'm doing the best I can. No, you're not. The best that you can do is in the Bible.
Right.
The best our people could do is in the Bible.
You know?
But we truly don't know the Bible.
Right.
Watch this. Jeremiah 14 and 2.
You know.
Let's see what color all the real Jews are. What's a Jewish man look like today? If I said what's a Jewish man, if he walked through your neighborhood, what would you say he looked like?
Jews I done been seeing.
Yeah, the Jews you done been seeing, what they look like?
Bring it out.
What they look like?
What, they got long? Like
What color are they?
Go ahead,
You can say that. Go ahead. Yeah.
Bring it out.
There you go. What does a Jewish man look like today? What color is it? You ever seen a Jewish man before?
Come on, sis, you done seen one.
You done seen them. You done seen them. They wear the little black hat, had a little curl thing.
Yeah.
What color are they? They white people. Now let's read in the Bible and see what color the real Jews are. Let's read that.
Jeremiah chapter 14 and verse 2. Judah mourning, and the gates thereof languish.
So it said Judah is in mourning. The word Jew comes from Judah.
Right.
It said we're in mourning. You know why we in mourning? Single parent households is something to cry about.
Right.
Our sons and daughters getting killed and getting kidnapped in traffic, that's something to cry about.
Right.
The police coming through our neighborhood, policing us. When ain't nothing going on but the kids outside playing.
That's right.
Why the police got to ride through acting up, and then all of a sudden they get out the car and make a scene. That's something to cry about.
Right.
Something to cry about for our kids to go to school and nobody teach them.
Right.
Something to cry about. That's why I say we in mourning. It says our gates are languish.
You know?
A gate is for protection.
Right.
What's protecting us over here? Y'all got a big old gate in the front. That's how I used to be in the hood where I'm from. I'm from Kentucky. Big old project, just like this. It was a gate in the front. They can close that gate and lock you in here anytime they feel like, or lock you out. You don't even control it. But the gate stay open for all the evil to come in, though.
Right. You know?
That's because that gate ain't really for your protection whatsoever at all.
Right.
Nothing protects our people is what that's saying. Even the government. Y'all vote? You voted?
I didn't vote.
Did you vote? Why?
I did not vote.
And look, did they come to this neighborhood knocking door to door this year? Or last year rather, trying to get y'all to vote and sign up in your neighborhoods and stuff at the top of the street and things. They didn't come this year.
They're not this year.
But they have. Why do they only come to the hoods? Why don't they go to the white people neighborhood and tell them to vote? Why don't they go to the Chinese neighborhood and vote? Why don't they tell them to do it? Because it means absolute crap.
That's right.
What it is a census to get the count that's in your house.
That's right.
That's all it is. How many people that's black over here that live here? That's what they really doing.
Right.
Because your vote didn't do anything. It didn't do nothing. Didn't do nothing. Read.
Judah mourning, and the gates thereof languish.
So Judah is in mourning. The real Jews are crying. We don't have no protection. Go ahead.
They are black.
What color is the real Jews?
They are black.
What color is the real Jews?
They are black
Go ahead.
unto the ground.
What color are the Jews according to God? unto the ground. We are different shades of brown.
You know? All right.
So those white people that claim to be Jews, they not the real Jews.
That's right.
But he just read to you earlier that Christ was from the tribe of Judah. So if Christ was black, then what color is Christ's people then?
Bring it out.
Come up.
So who the heck are we?
Teach.
But we don't know that, so therefore we live like everybody else tell us to. Versus if we live how God told us to. Y'all understand that? You understand that? You got any questions? You sure? Because he mentioned something about birthdays. Y'all do birthdays. That's okay if you do. Well, it ain't okay, but we're going to explain to you that you shouldn't.
I mean, my birthday, I really don't care about.
I do
really don't do
birthdays.
too much.
Why?
I might take them out. That's about it.
Why do you do your birthday? Why? You're only born once.
Yeah.
So why do you do your birthday?
I change the birth year every year.
Okay, so
I'm getting older.
So you're getting older, and you said that is something to celebrate.
I do.
Now, think about it. I'm gonna show y'all that we're not supposed to do that. We're not supposed to do that. I'm gonna explain. That is why we're here. We're here to read the Bible, so y'all understand this is written to you. This is only written to the Israelites. It ain't written to nobody else. The Bible is only for God's people. It's not for the whole world. People will tell you John 3:16, but they can't tell you what it means.
Right.
But y'all can quote it, I bet. John 3:16, for God so loved the world that what? Y'all ain't been to church all this time, but y'all remember that. You see what I'm saying?
That's like one of the.
But look, but you don't know the meaning of them. Because that scripture,
But I love to learn.
who is God's world? Can anybody else be God's world? You didn't know us before today. What did you think it was before today?
I thought it was the
Us meaning who?
people. The people.
Everybody.
Yeah, I thought it was everybody.
All praises. Let's go to Isaiah 45.
I didn't say it was black, white.
Okay, now, that's why I said God ain't coming back to save no darn white people. So when he had that scripture written, this is the world he was talking. Let's see what he calls us. Read that.
Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 17. But Israel.
But who?
But Israel.
So we talking to the Israelites. We still talking to us, the ones that came over on slave ships. This is who we talking to. We talking to our people. The Israelites are the ones that came over on slave ships, the ones that went through slavery. Did white people go through slavery? Chinese people? Japanese people. So we ain't talking about none of them. We talking about us. Read on.
But Israel shall be saved.
Israel shall be saved. Why didn't it name another race should be saved? It only said Israel shall be saved. Go ahead.
And the Lord with an everlasting salvation.
Ain't everlasting the kingdom of heaven? So wait, it just said that only the Israelites is going to get everlasting salvation. Read on.
Ye shall not be ashamed.
So, but our people have become ashamed of that.
Right.
That's why we don't want to look how God told us to look. That's why we don't want to be how God told us to be. It's because we are ashamed. That way made us hate ourselves, so now we are ashamed of who God made us to be. Read.
Nor confounded. World.
Whoa, what did he call?
World.
What did he call?
World without end.
The Israelites is the world without end. So when you read John 3:16, who's the world he talking about? Israel. The world without end. Not everybody.
Right.
John 2:20, Joel 2:27, and then Deuteronomy 22 and 5. Because watch this, because you said that God's the God of everybody, the world. Look, he's about to say it, that he's not their God, straight up and plain. You gonna tell me what it means. You tell me what this means, okay? We gonna let you explain it to all of us. Go ahead.
Joel chapter 2 and verse 27.
Go ahead.
And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel.
Who did Christ say? Who did God say he was with in the midst of? In the midst of who? Okay.
And that I am the Lord your God and none else.
What did he just say? What did God just say?
You're the only one else.
So whose God is it?
Israel.
So then who the heck is, remember,
Everybody.
the world is not everybody.
Right.
It cannot be that if he's already said, we the world.
Right.
That's not possible. Watch this. Revelations.
Bring it out.
Chapter 10. 13. Is that what I want?
13:10.
13:10. Oh, here we go.
Something y'all meet at?
Huh? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Bring your kids. You should come. Watch this. Watch what we're reading.
She probably gonna fuss now. I'm gonna tell y'all that right
So what? So what? We don't care. All our family was fussing too, and we didn't care either. Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 13 and verse 10.
Listen to this. Listen to this, mother. Watch this. If everybody can get the kingdom of heaven, what does this mean in Revelations? Watch this. Listen up. Listen up, mother. Both mothers right here. I'm a father. Most of us out here fathers. Go ahead.
He that leadeth into captivity.
What race of people led us into captivity? Okay. White people did, right? White people did, right? Go ahead.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
What is their judgment? The ones that put us in slavery. What's their judgment? That's Revelation. They don't get no New Testament than that.
Right.
What is their judgment?
Bring it out.
Teach.
No. Not put us back. Read that again.
He that leadeth into captivity.
They led us into captivity.
Right.
So he that led us into captivity, what's their judgment?
Shall go into captivity.
Oh, damn.
So they're going to be slaves. That's what they said. They're going to be our slaves.
That's
Read
right.
on.
He that killeth with the sword.
Because they killed 77 million of our people over here. And then they brought us over here and killed hundreds of millions of us. Go ahead.
Must be killed with the sword.
So all the killing they did, they going to be put to death. All that enslaving they did, they going to be put in slavery. And we're still slaves to them today.
Teach.
The problem is we actually don't know that. That was the same thing. That was the same thing that what was her name? What was the darn name? Harriet Tubman said. She would have saved more of our people if they would have just understood they were slaves. Problem with black people is they don't understand they slaves no more.
That's right.
Mind you, everything we get comes from white people. Everything. Church comes from white people. School, white people. Your license, white people. You want to travel, you need a passport. White people got to give it to you. You got to ask permission to leave. They let you know you a slave.
Birth certificate.
You got to, your birth certificate, your child wasn't alive until you signed it.
Bring it out.
And when you dead, you ain't dead until the death certificate is signed.
That's right.
Right.
You ain't even got permission to die
Right.
until they give a death certificate for you.
Bring it out.
But then we'll sit up there and then we'll act like I got it all together. I know I don't have to do anything. But the more we stay how we are, there is no getting us out of here.
Right.
No man is coming to get you out of here.
Right.
Not no white dude anyway. Not this man right here.
No.
Not this guy. This is who coming to get us right here.
No.
That's right.
But black people think that's scary.
Bring it out.
No.
Think so? Let me ask your daughters. Can I ask your daughters? These your daughters? Your sisters? Which one? Your nieces?
Come here.
Have your niece come over. Have them come here real quick.
Can we? No.
Let me show you something.
No.
Okay. Who is this? You all right? Give me 5. Give the sister a hand. Give the sister a hand.
Come here.
Because before she said this, right? And then she got taught. They went over.
Right there, she just walked up.
Quick question. Who is that over there? Okay, that's Christ. That'd be Christ. She just repeated what she said. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I can rock with it. But which one of these pictures is more scarier? Why?
Because the eyes.
No.
No.
What's so scary?
The eyes and the way how he looking and the candles.
Now I want y'all to think about what she really just said.
That's right.
I want y'all to really think about what she really just said.
Right.
She said that this is more scarier looking than this. And she said how he's looking. But he looked like her. We scared of black people. Our people are taught to be afraid. Now imagine, that would mean she's more afraid of her own father than a white man.
Right.
See how bad that is? That's crazy. That is how we are. That is how we are. Our people are more afraid of our own people than we are of white people.
You said you would come. I'm here.
That makes sense. You ever? Did you see what happened? So now, so what should we do? Go to Deuteronomy 22 and 5. Because I'm gonna read something to y'all. I'm gonna read something to the two mothers that's up here. I'm gonna read something. Y'all listen to this right here. She don't wore your arms out.
Arms tired.
So now, watch this. Because a lot of our people will say, we will do it. Because y'all didn't know this stuff until today. Y'all just found these things out today. A lot of it. A lot of it you just found out today. But you really didn't have, you wasn't able to make sense of it, but you heard it. But now it's very easy to understand. Now I'm going to read something to y'all. I'm going to read a law to you. And it's a law that no one ever taught y'all. And it's a law as to what happens to our sisters, as to why our sisters take on manly spirits too. Read this.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22 and verse 5.
Bring it out.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. For all that do so are an abomination unto the Lord thy God.
Go to Romans. Let's go to Romans now. So that just said, and you're going to come back to that. I want the spiritual. The law is spiritual. So you heard what that just said? It said that men and women cannot wear the same clothes. I can't wear what belongs to a woman. If I did that, what would I be standing up here wearing? If I was dressed like a woman, what would I have on?
A t-shirt.
If I was dressed like a woman.
I don't see me coming all type of ways. They be having the lashes, the wigs.
Okay, I get it. Clothes is what I'm talking about.
A dress.
A dress.
A t-shirt.
So now, if a woman clothing is a dress, what's a man's clothing? What's the opposite? So then what? So what? That's what God said. So what God says, women can't wear what belongs to men, and men can't wear what belongs to women. What does that mean?
I shouldn't be wearing pants right now. I should have me on the skirt or a dress.
There you go. Now, that is the same reason why you have a female bathroom, this with a dress, and the man bathroom with pants. It's a universal known fact. Literally in the 1950s, women were allowed to wear pants in the 1950s.
Right.
Here. Matter of fact, across the whole world. It was not allowed. It was against the law for women to wear pants.
That's right.
But our great-great-grandmothers never wore pants.
Right.
They did not teach that to our grandmothers. So then our grandmothers didn't teach it to their daughters. Now we got women that wear pants and they say, well, pants are made for both now. No, that's not what God just said.
Bring it out.
And what they do, what happens, let's read what happens. Read that in Romans. Here we go.
The book of Romans, chapter 7 and verse 14. For we know that the law is spiritual.
So the laws of God are spiritual. So every law that God gives comes with a certain spirit. If men are commanded to put on pants when you read Exodus 34, what kind of spirit would I have? A manly spirit. So if a woman, but every man you see that puts on a dress, how do they act? Do they act like a man? No, they wrist stroke. They act like a woman. Sis said they wrist stroke. That's exactly what happened. So what's the opposite when women put on pants? The women then begin to start trying to act like men.
Bring it out.
Because the laws of God are spiritual. They put it. That's why when women, when you see them, that's why. Hold on. I'm gonna get your question. I want to answer your question because you came up from. They want you. I want to talk to you. So this right here said that our people have to keep the commandments, or we will be spiritually messed up. So now a woman will get in the man's face, knowing good and well that that man has man's strength, and she knows. And look, our black women know they can call the white man on the black man. That's why they got 911 on speed dial. Because if it really was no white man, black women would not be in black men's face like that. Because she knows, like I said, there's a line. Black men don't cross each other because we know we really can kill each other. It is in us naturally to be that strong. Because we're protectors. That's our job. It's not women's jobs.
That's right.
So therefore, you don't have that natural strength that a man does. He ain't got to pick up a weight. Your son don't have to pick up a weight, and ain't nothing you can do. When he get 14, you can't do nothing with him.
Right.
14. Imagine a 40-year-old man or a 30-year-old man or a 20-year-old man. You really can't do nothing for him. He let you hit him because he don't want to go to jail. He don't want to go to prison. Or he don't want to hurt you. Or he don't want to kill you because he know physically he can with no problem. But our black women take advantage of that because they taking on spirit of a man to get in a man's space like they're men.
Come listen.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
Let's read that back again in Deuteronomy 22:5. Read it again.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22 and verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
Because when we do so, this is what we become to God.
For all that do so are an abomination unto the Lord thy God.
They say we become an abomination to God.
Right.
Let's see how God feels. Jeremiah 44:4. Let's see how God feels about when we become an abomination to him. Because when we become an abomination, we go to the umpteenth power.
Right.
We the most of everything we do.
Right.
If we play sports, we the best. If we sing, we the best. But if we out here in sin, oh, we the best at that too.
That's right.
Oh, we can go be the best at that too.
Right.
Look, that's why, you know how you'll see our men that's like that? What? Like she said, they wish be broke. Why do white men, when they wish be broke, why don't you know that they gay? Why they gotta tell you? But black men, they gotta go to the umpteenth power to act like a woman.
Right.
Or the women gotta go to the umpteenth power to act like the man.
Right.
Literally, they try to walk harder than the men. Literally. Literally. Because I need you to know that I can be more of a man than you. When don't no man walk like that, we be chilling.
Right.
We be chilling. Read.
Jeremiah chapter 44 and verse 4. Howbeit I sent unto you all my servants.
So God said, howbeit I sent my servants out to you. What you think we doing now?
Bring it out.
His servants out here talking to you now.
Right.
He said, howbeit I send my servants to you to come teach you. Go ahead.
The prophets rising early and sending them, saying, oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate.
And that's what we came to do. He said, listen, I sent my prophets to you. And they told you, hey, don't do this abominable thing. Y'all should not be wearing pants. That's a sin.
Now you got me feeling bad.
That's good. You should feel bad. So then tomorrow and for the rest of your life, you shouldn't wear pants. I'm married. He's married. He's married. He's married. He's married. Our wives never wear pants.
Bring it out. That's right.
Never. They never wear pants, but they be looking nice though. They show up now. They show up now. Don't think they be dressing like they working in the field tonight. Nah, they be nice now. Read that again. Listen to what it says. Read it again.
Jeremiah chapter 44 and verse 4. Howbeit I sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate.
So God said, do not this abominable thing that I hate. So whenever we go and be abominations, what did God just say? How he feel? He hates. But we'll say God loves all the time. God just said he hates. So what they told us in church, God said he hates whenever we go against his commandments. He hates it. So, but they'll tell us in church when we was growing up, God loves all the time.
Nah, hold on now. Time passed.
But they just said that he hates.
Just hold on.
So that would mean they lie.
Might come back to it.
That we can be on the bad side of God, and when that happens, he will mess us up. That's a judgment in the Bible. That God, if we as parents, because you got daughters, I got sons, 5 of them. If I don't do what God says, he said he'll forget my own sons. Same thing go for y'all as parents. If y'all forget and don't do what God said, he'll also forget your daughters. And then your daughters, you will grow up, you may live to see them get older, and you will see them repeat the cycle that you did not want them to repeat. And you will say, don't do that. And they will do it anyway, because God said, I forgot them because you forgot me. And we will live a dreadful, painful life instead of a good one. Y'all understand this? Y'all understand that?
What is a nation?
Nation is men leading by example.